Today's video is all about horse breeding for rideable horses and armored horses. That's right. Growing horses, is it profitable? Is it not? Is it worth your time? Should you have a pasture full of horses compared to an herb garden or even a little farming stead full of vegetables and crops? Well, you're about to find out. Let's get right into it. Today, here are the numbers. If you want to breed horses and nurture them, it is 125 focus per nurture, and some horses require multiple nurturings before they are fully grown and multiple feedings. To feed a horse, we're using carrots because carrots are the cheapest, and it takes 10 carrots per feed per day, okay? So if you can grow a horse in 2 days, you got to feed it twice. If it grows up in 1 day, you just feed it one time, and so on and so forth. Same with the nurture costs. Now, here is the values of buying the horses from the vendor, which the tier 3 horse is aligned with the vendor pricing on the market. However, the tier 4 and tier 5 horses are not at all. That's why they have asterisks next to them. Here is the profit values. If you do not use focus, you only average 1848 for growing tier 3 horses, which is viable. It's okay. And if you do use focus, you're making about 3,216 on average silver over a long period of time, though that long period of time is at least 100 days. Okay, so yeah, you're not seeing much more profit by using your focus there. And that's at max focus, by the way. Tier 4 horses and tier 5 horses. Tier 4 horses are not ever worth it. Without focus, or even with focus, there's just no point. The numbers are just way too low. It is absolutely going to kill your bankroll if you breed tier 4 horses. Tier 5 horses are even worse currently due to the insanity on the market, okay? There are way too many horse breeders in this game that the price of the tier 5 foals is like 1/3, and you are just in an overly competitive market. Remember, the prices on screen are based on the vendor prices, okay? Because the market fluctuates, it can go up, it can go down, they can all disappear in one day if a whale decides to master horse breeding. It happens, it's happened before, it can happen again, okay? So we do have to go by the base vendor prices, alright? Whereas full prices on the market will always be slightly cheaper than vendor price due to competitive selling, but we're seeing 50 to 75% of a downturn right now. So people that invest might actually just buy a whole bunch of really cheap foals until the prices go back up. That could be a valid strategy. Not something I would invest in because horse breeding in general takes too damn long and it's too costly. Now, the other problem why you're not seeing tier 6, 7, and 8 horses and the likes is because of their extremely low sales volume, which I also have on the screen. Let me talk about sales volume. This is just sampled from Bridgewatch, not the entire game, but in Bridgewatch you can see that every day around 5,000 to 7,000 tier 3 rideable horses are sold. These are horses that have already been saddled. I'm going to talk about saddling in a little bit, but for now, let's talk about sales volume because this is very important, okay? Tier 4 horses, only 800 to 1,000 tier 4 rideable horses. Then when you reach tier 5, the numbers start to massively drop. Only 200 to 300 rideable tier 5 horses. There are more armored tier 5 horses at 600 to 800. When you hit tier 6, check this out. Only 10 to 30 horses being sold per day. Tier 7, only 5 to 10. Tier 8 rideable horses, 0 to 2 per day. That's right. If you count an entire month's worth of tier 8 horses in one town, it's like barely maybe 10. It's insane how low that tier 8 horses are just pretty useless. They don't really serve any purpose. There's so many other better mounts out there, and the insane cost to buy them, the foals, raise the foals into rideable horses and to saddle them is just not worth it for anyone to do ever. And the fact that even 2 of them were sold on average 0 to 2 per day, an average of 1 per day maybe, if you're lucky, is just ridiculous. Like, who's buying these horses? Why are they buying these horses? And then, of course, tier 6, 7, and 8 armored horses, again, 30 to 50, 5 to 15. This is not 1,000, this is single digits. And tier 8 armored horses, 0 to 2. So the volume is so low that I am not going to bother to calculate how much you could profit off these things because you're not going to profit off these things. The market is completely, absolutely wrecked from old world players who've only done this since the beginning of the game. I think at one point in the past there was a horse dupe. Also, horses used to not trash, I believe. That was a thing. I can't really confirm that or not. That's just what people have told me. So who knows if that's true or not. But the horses in general are just, oh my god. Horses can obviously trash now, by the way. But in the past, I don't know. I didn't like PvP enough, okay? With that said, let's get into the cost and the effectiveness of saddling horses, which is also going to be very, very disappointing. I'm just going to tell you right now. So let's talk about saddling. Okay, so there's a lot on the screen. I'm going to talk about it. Don't you worry. Saddling is absolutely never, ever, ever worth it. Do not ever use focus to craft saddles. The focus cost is insanely high, and all you get is some leather back. And here, I'll show you an example. We have 100 horses that we can saddle up here, and it's going to cost 90,000. The focus cost is way too high. Return rate of 15.2%. That's only for the thick leather, okay? And here we go. I've got Kraken Salad, so this goes much faster. And there we go. We have finished crafting the horses. You can see that I do not have a single journeyman's horse left over, but I only got 306 leather out of that, okay? How much did we theoretically pay? 90,000? And look, this is worth 48,000, okay? So I got half my craft cost back, which is ridiculous, is stupid. And you could say, but you got a masterpiece horse. Oh no, look at the difference of the stats. 65 move, 100. Compared to a regular one, 65 and 100. 1,004 HP, 1,004 HP. There is no difference between the horses at all. The stats do not matter. Okay, maybe the carry weight, okay? A regular carry weight of 53 and a masterpiece is a carry weight of 71. Wow, it's like upgrading your bag by one tier, not even. It's like equipping your boots and putting on the courier on your boots. This is absolutely not ever, 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 ever worth saddling, okay? But regardless, let's talk more about saddling in deeper detail. Okay, it's overpriced. Well, obviously, you've seen the cities, it's overpriced. I think there's one stall in Fort Sterling as of today that is not overpriced, but the rest of the world, it's completely wrecked in price. So, here's the thing. If you absolutely still want to be a horse breeder, I'm going to teach you how to do it the smart way. But first, I'm going to talk about how much it costs to build a Tier 5 saddler. That way you can at least, make armored horses if you want to. That cost 196,600 silver. The materials for building it are on the screen. However, Tier 3 horses are the only ones worth saddling on the current market, and that only costs 37,900 silver just for the Tier 3. Now, if you build the Tier 5 station, you need to saddle 114 horses to break even. You make no profit until you craft 114 and sell those, okay? Which means... Okay, now also, for the crafting bench, it does have nutrition, and when you make your crafting bench, it starts out with some nutrition. You can craft up to 2,883 Tier 3 saddled horses before you will run out of nutrition, in which case you do have to feed this thing. Let's see, its favorite food is goat stew. So you'll have to buy goat stews to get that nutrition back, or build more crafting benches, okay? So, with that said... You'll make about a 1,700 silver profit if you grow your own horse, use your focus to grow it, and nurture it as many times. Well, the Tier 3 horse, you just nurture it one single time. Okay, and not counting taxes on the markets, or what you're buying on the markets, or what you're selling on the markets. And the sales volumes are just low, so it's a very competitive market if you decide to become a horse breeder. I'm just going to tell you right now. Like, 3,000 to 5,000 horses being sold daily sounds like a lot? It's not, okay? Like, for instance, poison potions are sold in the hundreds of thousands per day. Alright? So, if you want to break even on just the Tier 3 bench for saddling, it only takes 22 horses, so it's way more manageable, and you get the same amount of nutrition anyway, at least you used to. I don't know if you still do. I didn't test it. But guys, that is my video on horse breeding and saddling. I hope this helped you make an informed decision of what to use your personal islands for. I personally think that horse breeding is a complete and utter waste of time, and you should absolutely avoid it at all costs. The profits are so much smaller than just growing herbs and selling herbs, and it's so much more of a pain in the butt to have to feed them the carrots and the time it takes for them to grow, and their very low birth rate, even when you nurture them. And the fact that saddling requires another building and is such a hassle, and the low sales volume, it does not make this worth it at all. Anyway, I'm Soul Benji. Thanks for watching. As always, be a bro, stay swole. I read every comment. I also make videos every day. Leave a comment. Make sure you like the video, because I know this helped you out. And also make sure you're subscribed. If you subscribe, it's free. It's one click, man. It like takes a second. It really helps me out. And because I make videos every single day, you will always have something to watch tomorrow and the next day and the day after that if you're hungry and bored and you just want to learn something about Albion Online or maybe some other cool game I might play. Alright, and you could always unsub later. You could always do it later, man. Like, if you grow out of the game, if you grow to hate and resent me, it's whatever, okay? Also, if you have the money, please donate. Click that thanks button down below. Leave a monetary donation. I hate asking for this. It really is shameful of me, but I don't have a choice. It's that or I die. And I would rather not die. You'd probably rather I not die, so someone out there might be generous enough to donate. Who knows? You can also become a channel member. Click the join button. That's $5 a month. It's like subscribing on Twitch. You know, you probably, maybe, if you have spendable money, you might have subscribed to someone on Twitch at some point. It's the same thing on YouTube. It's just called channel membership. It's $5 a month. You get access to private, more personal videos. There's a playlist in the pinned comment, so go check that out. If any of those videos interest you, feel free to become a channel member. It really helps me out. Thank you so much. I will see you in tomorrow's video. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. Take care.